Big main event on our episode tonight of WWE 2k20 Universe Mode. My name is BrendenPlayz. Welcome to this edition of NXT. Tonight in our main event, EC3 is back and he wants to take on top contender Matt Riddle in our main event. Alright, this week we're going to see Austin Theory in action. He'll be taking on Curtis Axel one-on-one. Theory will be making his debut. John Morrison is back and he's going to reunite with his good friend The Miz. They're going to take on Ryder and Hawkins in tag team action as well. Be interested to see how that tag team fares. Miz and Morrison back together. Andrade will take on Oni Lorcan one-on-one as he prepares for the Elimination Chamber. The Bulgarian Maharajas will be up against the Usos, and Carmella is up against the Smackdown Women's Champion, Charlotte. Austin Theory picks up a win over Axel. Miz and Morrison, they score a win as well. Andrade too good for Lorcan. The Usos pick up a win, and Charlotte, the champion, wins again. Kicking it off on this edition of NXT, it will be Keith Lee and Dexter Lumis. Great opportunity to see Dexter in action, and also Keith Lee looking to bounce back after losing to Matt Riddle yet again. Isaiah Scott will be going up against Angel Garza. Two interesting competitors battling it out and starting to pick up their career here in NXT. We'll see Heavy Machinery up against Lorcan and Birch. We're going to see the debut of Shotzi Blackheart. She's going to team up with Aaliyah to take on Tegan Nox and Mia Yim. And this is going to be very interesting indeed. Imperium will make their debut against the Forgotton Sons in tag team action. And of course, Matt Riddle and EC3, that is our main event. Matt Riddle is undefeated. EC3, the former champion. That should be a good contest indeed. So Keith Lee gonna win over Dexter Lumis. Angel Garza picks up the win. Heavy Machinery too good. Nox and Mia Yim get the win as well. Now it's time for our tag team match. Well, let's get into it for our first contest here tonight. It's going to be the Forgotton Sons up against Imperium. A couple of tag teams here looking to really make their mark in our division here in NXT. It's been a long time coming for the Forgotton Sons. There are two guys in Blake and, of course, Cutler that have been floundering around for a while. Jackson Riker has kind of brought them together to the dance here in NXT, forming this stable, forming this group that is currently at 50% win-loss. 4 wins, 4 losses. Not too bad. A decent start. No doubt about it, though, tonight. This is going to be a good contest. Forgotton Sons want this win badly, and they're up against a new trio, a new group of Imperium. And this is going to be an interesting contest indeed, as we mentioned. They are making their official debut. They've got Walter by their side. Walter we've seen on a couple of occasions before, but this is when it really matters the most. It's a good team, good young team. Got Marcel Barthel, and of course Fabian Aichner as well as Walter, and of course Alexander Wolf joining up with the group as well to make out the 4 men in this team. And this is going to be a good contest, as we mentioned, as Barthel will start us off with Steve Cutler. As Cutler himself sitting at 3 wins, 5 losses in his Universe Mode career. We saw him on a couple of occasions sporadically before joining up with the Forgotton Sons. And Barthel, this is his official debut. We have seen Fabian Aichner before. 0 wins, 3 losses to his name. So a fresh start for him as well, joining up with Imperium, of course, making their name over in the UK. So a good opportunity here for this new group. Aichner right now in the corner is Cutler trying to keep him there. Oh, a bit of a cheap shot there by Cutler. And Barthel is not happy about that at all. And why should he be? This is a new team, as we said, Imperium, looking to try and make their mark. And when you've got guys like the Forgotton Sons who are not willing to let that opportunity, they don't want to let this spot be shared. They don't want someone else taking their chances. They want to be the main focus. They want to be the team to beat around here. And well, when you've got a new team, like I said, Imperium, very, very good. And this is going to be not an easy contest for the Forgotton Sons. And they have been forgotten. Let's not forget, Blake has been around for a long time. Once upon a time, teamed up with Murphy. And, he's got 5 wins, 16 losses. It's over 20 matches here in NXT. But you wouldn't think about that. You wouldn't really know that. Because, he hasn't been in the mix for a long time. He has been forgotten about. Steve Cutler as well. And, Jackson Riker, probably the only man in this group that has kind of been forgotten about, but he's got a lot of potential, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on the fact that he does have all this potential. He does have all this ability. We kind of forget about that. We kind of forget about what he's been able to produce in the ring. We kind of forget about what he can bring to the table. He's got just 3 matches under his belt here in NXT, so clearly not getting the opportunities that perhaps he deserves either. Just 2 wins, 1 loss. There's no reason why he should be in the mix a little bit more than what he is. Certainly as a singles, potentially a North American Championship contender, I could see that. As both Barthel and Aichner to the outside of the ring. And instead, it is Cutler taking care of Barthel, and it's not a good situation to be in if you're Marcel. Instead, he fires back, lands Cutler into the steel steps, and now he's got a chance to try and take advantage of the 10 seconds he's got outside the ring. As this crowd are supporting Barthel at the moment, so they should. New, young, aspiring tag team trying their hardest to make their own mark here in NXT. And we'll be having a host of new talent joining the NXT roster over the next little period of time. We'll see some new names pop up here and there, and they'll be joining the mix, whether that's the Cruiserweight division or the Heavyweight division or challenging for the North American Championship or of course the Tag division. Whatever it may be, there's going to be lots of new names coming along in the near future, and this is just the beginning of it. And it's exciting times seeing a team like Imperium, who have, as I said, all the potential in the world to be anything. Currently our tag team champions, the Viking Raiders, undefeated. Nobody's been able to stop them, and I'm not sure if anybody will be able to stop them. They're 10 wins, 0 losses. So that's the big reason why NXT needs to find some new teams, some new opponents for the Viking Raiders. And someone like Imperium, you know, kind of remind me a little bit of the Undisputed Era. They've got a bit of experience now. They kind of work really well together, good chemistry. And they're just hungry. They're hungry for success. As Aichner, here we go, over the top, flies over the top and lands down on Wesley Blake. And that is not what you want if you're Blake. You just enter back into the matchup and you've been taken down with a suicide dive at the top. And both men trying to connect with a drop kick here. Both having the same idea. This time, Aichner with a Hurricane Runner taking down Blake. Well, this is what Fabian Aichner can bring to the table, because we have seen him on a few occasions. He has been a part of the Cruiserweight mix on a couple of occasions, and this is a great opportunity for him to branch away from that, but also utilize those skills that he may have learned in competing in the Cruiserweight division. As Riker right in the face right now of Aichner, and having a bit of a discussion there. And I don't think they'll be discussing where they're going to go for drinks later. I think it's a little bit more hostile than that. As Aichner back inside the ring here with Wesley Blake, both men in the center of the ring. Blake now has a hold of him and slams him down. Nicely executed there. This is a chance now for the Forgotton Sons to build something here. At the moment, it's hard to really predict who's doing the better of the two, and that may be the upper hand they need. A rake of the eye. But Aichner is trying to work through that. He still has some eyesight, obviously, some visibility. And now the double underhook. And drills him onto the knees. Wow, what a move there from Blake. This is more like it as he tags in Steve Cutler. This is a good opportunity right now for the Forgotton Sons. Well, Cutler says, you know what? You do it. You keep going back in there. You had a good little run there. Why don't you continue it? So, a pointless tag in the end by the Forgotton Sons, and that may cost them a little bit of a hesitation, a little bit of time wastage. At the moment, Blake back on the attack, and that's what they need to do. Walter's ringside. We haven't seen him get himself involved yet, unlike Riker. There's some kicks to the thighs there of Aichner. Some great shots here again. Oh, went for the big jumping strike with a kick, and he missed it. Instead, he's caught out, but he counters again. Aichner looking good. He finds a big kick this time. Is it a knockout strike? He's not going to go for the pin just yet. He wants more. Aichner now building to something. Got him from behind. And going to try and lock in the sleeper, and locked in. Center of the ring. Nowhere to go. But broken up by Cutler. Ooh, I think he may have had him there. A sleeper hold locked in very tight. And now Aichner has him. And slamming him down himself. Right down. Close to the center of the ring. Hooks the leg. Blake, I think, is still out from the sleeper. And Cutler can't get there in time. And Imperium win their debut match here in NXT. Huge win tonight for a new team on the block, a team that has a lot of potential, and this is a team that maybe one day could be able to dethrone the undefeated Viking Raiders. It's hard to say just yet. I don't want to put too much pressure on them, but somebody has to. Somebody has to beat the Raiders. They've been so good. Is it Imperium? Maybe. It could be. Led by Walter, Alexander Wolf in the group as well. We'll see him soon. This is a team that I've got my eye on. This is going to be a team full of potential. So far, their debut was very much so a success, and they look the goods. This is our main event for our episode of NXT here tonight, and it will feature a former NXT champion in this man. He is EC3, a man who's trying to reinvent himself, refine himself, and free himself from the past, the inner demons that he's been going through ever since losing the NXT Championship. This is a man that is looking to get himself back in the mix, rebound after a tough loss to our current champion, Tommaso Ciampa, and get himself back in the game, back in the mix, back in the hunt of potentially being the NXT champion once again. He's a tremendous competitor with a good record. This is a guy that will be threatening to many. This is a guy that will beat many. But the question is, can he beat maybe the hottest rising star here in NXT in Matt Riddle? Should be a great contest, this one. Looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Matt Riddle coming off a massive win over Keith Lee. He's beat him not once but twice. 3 times if you count the fact that he's pinned him in a multi-man match. Matt Riddle has got Keith Lee's number, and now Riddle can finally, in my opinion, move away from Keith Lee and maybe now focus on becoming the NXT champion. 8 wins, 0 losses to his name. Perfect record, no blemishes. Will it be 8-1 tonight, or will he make it 9 in a row? EC3 looking for the hot start. It does. He connects early on with a big time knee and gets us underway in this contest. EC3 and Matt Riddle one-on-one. 2 men that have met in the past when the NXT Championship was on the line, and Keith Lee screwed over Matt Riddle, cost him a chance to become NXT champion. But Matt Riddle, of course, won that encounter via disqualification. So EC3 kept the championship but did lose the matchup. So Matt Riddle and EC3 have met in the past, bit of history. Matt Riddle very well could have been the NXT champion if it wasn't for Keith Lee. Now it's a chance for Riddle to beat EC3 and jump over him in the pecking order and perhaps become #1 contender going forward to take on Tommaso Ciampa. What a match that would be, Riddle and Ciampa, but also a rematch between EC3 and Tommaso Ciampa. Certainly would love to see that once again, but EC3 needs to score some wins. He needs to get himself back in the hunt, back in the mix. No doubt about it, EC3, he's just going through a few issues now ever since he's lost the championship. It looks like EC3, his focus isn't there. Perhaps he's maybe looking for a change of scenery, a fresh start, something a little bit different about him. As Riddle with a combination of slaps and follows it up with a kick as well. And EC3 needs this win. You know, you only lose some big matches so often, and every time you lose a big match, it really dampens your confidence. It really severely upsets your rhythm. EC3 65% win ratio is great, but that number was certainly higher and has been going down and down ever since Ciampa got the better of him. Matt Riddle with an open hand strike there. Now EC3, avoids the knee. Matt Riddle jumped the gun a little bit there. His timing was a touch off, and EC3 lands one of his own instead. Now follows up with the elbow as well. Nice combination of maneuvers there by EC3, who's looking to keep himself in the hunt here. Matt Riddle has looked pretty good early on, but EC3's had his moments. But Riddle really working hard on these combinations and is really putting a lot of pressure on the former champion. And Riddle with a kick to follow it up as well. This has been good from Riddle. So many guys that I looked at the NXT roster right now and definitely believe could be potential NXT champions. Of course, we're looking at Johnny Gargano. And still, I believe Keith Lee, despite the fact he's had some losses, has the potential. Lars Sullivan, cannot forget about him. He's had a tremendous 12 months. And, some newcomers. Someone like Damian Priest. He's still got Aleister Black down here as well. He's always a threat. You cannot forget about the former champion, Adam Cole. And there's so many more as well, and that's the beauty of the roster right now. And even we saw earlier on Walter coming in with Imperium. I definitely believe Walter is a guy that could be a major threat to any champion here in NXT, perhaps the North American Championship as well. Of course, Roderick Strong, the current North American Champion. EC3 couldn't connect with that kick as Riddle going to brawl to the outside of the ring here a little bit with EC3. As this match is pretty much in the balance at the moment. Riddle going into the steel steps. EC3 with a chance to capitalize. We are going to take a quick break in this one as we're going to mention the upcoming Elimination Chamber pay-per-view and what you can expect to see on that event. As Riddle again into the ring post. We'll be back after this. Well, we have been waiting a while for the Elimination Chamber to come your way, and we are going to be working hard on this pay-per-view to get it done in the near future. And what you can expect to see on that show is two massive matches. Braun Strowman, he'll have the night off, but it's not exactly a day off for him because someone will become the #1 contender for his championship at WrestleMania, whereas Roman Reigns will defend the WWE title inside the chamber. Who will survive? Who will make it to WrestleMania? We'll find out at the Elimination Chamber. Looking forward to that event. The Elimination Chamber, always one of my favorite events of the calendar year, and you know, it's been one of the staples of Universe Mode. The final event, the final hurdle before WrestleMania. It's something we've done many times here in the series, and I'm looking forward to seeing if Roman Reigns can remain champion and who will face Braun Strowman at WrestleMania for his Universal Championship. And so much more to look forward to as well. We've got Drew McIntyre and Rey Mysterio as a potential #1 contenders match for the United States Championship. That should be exciting to see. And we've got Buddy Murphy. He's going to be in action as well against Austin Theory. That should be a good contest between two up-and-coming stars. Tag titles on the line. Insurgents and the Brothers of Destruction. Always great to see the Dead Man and Kane team up once again. And more tag team action as well with AOP and the New Day for the Smackdown tag team titles. Of course, we're going to see Becky Lynch and Peyton Royce go one-on-one as well. And Sasha Banks and Natalya one-on-one as a #1 contenders match for Charlotte Flair's SmackDown Women's Championship. So much more as well to look forward to, and I cannot wait for the Elimination Chamber as we'll be seeing that event hopefully in the near future here on BrendenPlayz on our YouTube channel. Of course, live on Twitch as well. And you can check that out, twitch.tv/BrendenPlayz. Of course, make sure you do follow so you don't miss any streams coming up from me. Alright, back into this matchup. Matt Riddle, right hands. He's trying to clear a bit of space right now. Trying to get himself, you know, in the upper hand. But EC3 bounces back with a standing drop kick. Takes down Riddle. No surprise, EC3 is giving up a hell of a fight to Matt Riddle. This is probably two of the best you've got right now on the roster going at it one-on-one. Only one will win. Only one can get this job done. And only one will face Tommaso Ciampa next for the NXT Championship. This is what this match could potentially have on the line here. A #1 contender spot. Matt Riddle, oh, caught with a right hand by EC3. And the former champion has got him up on the shoulders and bounces him off the top of the rope. EC3 looking pretty good at the moment. Matt Riddle might be caught out here with a standing guillotine now, dropping it down. Matt Riddle in a bit of trouble. EC3 trying to submit him. Not his strength though. Something a little bit different about the repertoire tonight, but he gets caught right there by a big-time kick from Riddle. Riddle may be able to set him up here for something big. Going for the chop. Now Matt Riddle has him with a gut wrench, dropping him down. No, he goes for the other way. Matt Riddle catches him there. Gut wrench suplex, looking for a second, finds it, and releases as well. Maybe thought about a third, but instead he's going to go for the cover and try and win it here, but only gets the one. EC3 kicking out, and first man back to his feet. Goes to show the conditioning of EC3 and some of the punishment that he can withstand. And look, there's no surprise, considering he was champion for such a long period of time. There's no surprise that EC3 can handle a beatdown and get back up and fight again. Matt Riddle, great striker, and he's got the submission game to follow it up as well. He's really a real all-rounder. You know, I wouldn't say he's much of a high flyer, but, you know, he can move quickly. He's got the agility. He can catch you off guard. And he can sometimes bring something a little bit different to the table that you're not expecting from him. He's got that in his playbook. And that's something EC3 has to be aware of tonight. Expect the unexpected from Matt Riddle. A man who's undefeated, 8-0. Can he make it 9-0? Bit of a streak building for Riddle here in NXT as he's got EC3 in the corner. Couple of kicks there. Riddle looking for more. EC3 up to the task. Now the leg sweep. But EC3 down to a knee and feeling the effects a little bit here. EC3, big chop, but he's still got a hold of him. Double combination there. And now, maybe looking for the 1%er. EC3, could he do it here? He's got Riddle up on the shoulders. Oh, he catches him out. Lands him down. EC3 to do it here. The streak will be over. Matt Riddle, 8-1. No! Wow, he waited to the very last second to kick out, and EC3 cannot believe it. Nor can I, honestly. EC3 almost had the win. Riddle catches him again. Gut wrench. Oh, he had a lot of extra force on that one. Now gets him again. And driving him down. Brilliant from Matt Riddle, who's trying to fight his way back into this contest. Oh, Riddle! Oh my! Oh, he hits him with a pile driver. A tombstone pile driver from Matt Riddle. He spun him around and connected, but not enough to win. Well, this would be huge for Riddle. Can he defeat EC3? Matt Riddle has him up, and he got him! The bro! Is he gonna do it here? Can he beat the former champion? He has! Matt Riddle! Unbelievable win for Riddle. He's bounced back from a potential loss. EC3 nearly had him, but Riddle fights his way back into it and has pinned the former champion EC3. What a win for Riddle, and this may be a win that sets him up for a championship shot down the line for the NXT Championship against Tommaso Ciampa. My goodness, huge from Riddle, and he makes it 9 wins in a row. Well, you gotta love it from Matt Riddle. This is what you want to see from him. More of these performances. Can he step up to the plate? Is he championship material? I suppose we will find out in the near future. Well, the Elimination Chamber is not too far away, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your patience. I'm sorry I just don't have a lot of time at the moment to make the videos, but we're going to try my hardest to get the Chamber out, hopefully in the next week or so. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this episode of NXT right here on WWE 2k20 Universe Mode. And of course, if you did enjoy it, do leave a like on it and subscribe to see more videos coming away, hopefully in the near future, including my brand new Total Extreme Wrestling series on All Elite Wrestling AEW 2020. Make sure you check that out. It's available right here on the YouTube channel as well. Come on to the Discord and join that as well, and be a part of the BrendenPlayz community, including joining up to the BrendenPlayz forums, BrendenPlayz.com/forums. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all at the Chamber.